So, there we go. Get another load. Pretty good old trailer I got here. It's made out of plastic. I bought it at Home Depot, I guess around 15, 20 years ago. Maybe, yeah, close to 20 years ago. Still working great. Some people say, why, George, why don't you get a bigger one? I go, well, I can put quite a bit in this old girl, and plus it gives me a break in between. This is really nice wood. This is all ash and maple, and it's all. This is 2 years old. I think I said in another video that wood on that side is it's all it's last year's, or this year I should say. So yeah, we just keep loading her up. But two of these takes about 2 1/4 of these rows for 1 year for my wood furnace, and in the basement it's well, I'll show you after. At any rate, it doesn't take all that much wood to heat this house of ours. Of course, it wasn't always that way. I had to do some insulating in it, and things like that over the years. You can always tell nice dry wood by when you hit it. Kind of echoes a little bit. If it was wet, it would be like a thud. Whew. Getting harder and harder to find good wood. I have a friend of mine, Terry Gorm. He's cuts firewood now, and a real nice man, and I get him to do my cutting anymore. All I gotta do, he cuts it and with his splitter, and brings it over here, dumps it, and then I pile it up in the spring here, and then let it dry, and then I bring it in and repile it in the basement for winter. So I used to do her. I used to have logs all piled up here, just roll one off at a time and cut them up. And then the wife, she'd stand them up, and then once I got a bunch stood up there, she called them all soldiers, and I'd take my axe and split them all. Them days are gone. My old shoulder won't handle it no more. But, hey, crowding 80 years old, in spite of a whole bunch of health issues there for a while, I'm still out here piling wood, which I like. Be nice to have my boys with me, but Craig and Carl, but they're so busy nowadays, and they got their own jobs and their own life. And the next thing is too is that they live so far away, so it makes it hard for them to get up here. That should stay there. I think that's about it. We'll take her around to the back there. Sure is beautiful out here today. Boy, look at that sky up there. It's gorgeous. Nice and blue. And some people like to bring it in later in the fall, but you know, for me, I like to do it now when the weather is nice and the wood is nice and dry now. So like this is really nice. As I say, it's 2 years old, and it's sitting there, even though it's still covered. The thing is that it once the weather gets real in the fall, it gets really wet and damp outside, and things like that. So it kind of acts like a wick, you know, the ends of them, and just sucks up the moisture, and then you have to more to dry out in the house. But anyways, right now it's beautiful and dry, so this is the time I figured to get her in the house. 1st of September. And by the looks of things, this is 2024 now, so I'm thinking we're going to have a bad winter. But I'm looking at the deer, and the fur is really thick and stuff like that. The birds have all been, a lot of them have been migrating already. I did hear a couple groups of Canadian geese heading south, so that's another sign. And the squirrels, well, hell, I got some big acorn trees over here. They've been just gathering them and stocking them up like crazy. So, you know, if you watch nature, you can kind of tell what the year is going to be. I put about 6 of these, well, one row out there, but 6 of these trailer loads in, 5 or 6, into the basement. Then I go down and pile it. So, I keep my old rear end behind me here so you guys can see. I get more used to doing this camera work. And hopefully I'll get time this winter to put them on there on the YouTube so you guys can have a look. My wife, she usually helps me, but she's fixing up the house. I've been painting the kitchen the last month or so, or last couple of weeks I should say, and so she's tidying up and straightening everything up upstairs. Put another bedroom up there. So we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll see if I can get the firewood in, and she'll get that done. These old gnarly ones with big knots and that. I call them all-nighters. And them big knots, they'll burn almost all night long. A real bugger to split though. But then again now, you got all these fancy log splitters, and a couple $1,000 or $1,500 a guy go buy a log splitter and he's in business. I got one, but as I say, things are getting, just lifting these are getting heavy enough for me. I just keep this, as I, in between loads, I just put that little bit of plastic one back there. I got the humidifier running in the basement, so that keeps the basement dry, plus keeps all the wood, any little moisture that does get into the wood, it'll be gone. So it pays to have a dehumidifier in the basement. So cheers. Full-time job bringing the camera around so you guys can look. But it's nice. She's a beautiful day. I don't know about you, but doesn't that firewood look beautiful piled up? I just love the look of it. This here, actually, this top from here up is all cherry. There was a huge old cherry tree, a wild one. The caterpillars ate it off and it was dying, so it was blocking, it was interfering with that big oak I got over there. You can't see that, but anyways, there was a big oak over there, and the cherry was interfering with it. So I cut it down. Now it's opened up. That old oak is going to grow beautiful, and so this won't go to waste. I'll make some. It'll be some good burning next winter. Another thing, you can pick up and move it wherever you want. For a big trailer, you wouldn't be able to. Oh, it's a lot of work, but you know, I like it. When the time comes to sell the place or whatever, I am gonna miss it. So, kind of thinking that these videos will be a good remember when. Oh, there you go. Why'd you throw that one on the ground for? There you go. You would think you get a lot of spiders and things in the house. Oh, you get the odd one, dandy loglinks, but nothing other. As I said, in 25 years and even 20 years before that on the farm, where I was raised too, in the dairy farm, we always put wood in the house. As long as it's good, clean, hardwood, you don't get that. I never had no issues, ever. So, some people love these outside furnaces, and that's okay. They're all right, but I don't know. I just hate getting up in the middle of the night around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and having to go put my pants on and my long johns and go out there in 2 feet of snow trying to feed that son of a gun. Or the other way, I just jump out of bed and this way, jump out of bed and put my slippers on and go down in the basement and put a couple pieces in where it's nice and warm. Of course, nowadays, you got so many rules and laws and regulations and people trying to get house insurance and stuff like that. And, well, makes it difficult because a lot of mortgage companies won't burn in wood. They don't like to insure you. When truth told, fire is all right. All you got to do is make sure your chimneys are clean and a good chimney. Keep that updated all the time. And watch what you're doing when you're lighting the fires, and keep it damper right down, and little things like you get used to. And wood is a safe heat. And I'll tell you, there is no better heat for warmth than wood. Well, maybe with the exception of hot water heat. I do like the hot water heat. But I used to have it on them big old registers. You've probably seen them on the farm. Years ago, big registers. Usually right underneath the window. Kind of louvers. And they were good heat, too, because they have a little moisture in them, you know. And that's the only downfall with wood, is other than being a little bit dirty, but is that the air is dry a little bit. Not as dry as gas, mind you. So, but so that's where humidifiers come in handy. Yeah, I think that'll do it. There we go. Away we go again. Take her back over. This old tractor of mine, this old roper. I had two of them. One was here when I moved here, and it was old then. That was 20 some years ago. Still runs good. Like, here again, just a little maintenance, and give her a little pat once in a while. So you're probably wondering, I got this dirt, you see. A lot of people, this was my old grandfather taught me years and years ago. I just rub my wrists and that with it, and all my hands. Then I just give it a little bit, brush it off, and then I just go around the back of my neck like that with the dirt. It's an old saying that earth, the soil, is what you need to survive, and you do, you need soil. But it's not only just from good crops growing in the soil, you also need it on your skin and things like that. And it revitalizes, it gives you some extra strength to keep going. Well, that's what my grandfather told me. You can take it for what it's worth, but I've been doing it for years and years. 80 years old, and here I am still bringing out, doing firewood myself. But since we got some of these here, my tomatoes are pretty well both had it. But can't get anything better. They're delicious. These are low acid ones. I wish I could let you have a taste of them. They are good. So, there we go. Look at my peppers. They're coming along nice. Orange one. Very good health-wise. Orange is really good. Yellow, so-so. Green, red, not bad. But orange, for really good health. As I say, my garden now, I'm just kind of I'll just pull all them weeds out and the tomatoes when they're done and really till the whole thing. I did plant some lettuce here. So it's coming along. I'll eat a bit off of that. The garden ain't in the best shape right now. Everything's kind of dwindled down. Sunflowers are pretty well gone. But that's all right. I just got to clean it up. She's an old house, but you know, I got everything there is. There's everything on this property a fellow needs to survive. As long as you're willing to put the work into it. And all the equipment, tools, you can repair anything, fix anything. You got heat right here. If something happens, the power goes out, or you run it, you know. Hydro goes down. You got wood, you got warmth. I do have a generator over there. And I got the furnaces hooked to that too, the oil furnace and that. As I say, I do have an oil furnace backup. But I don't use it that often, but maybe a little bit in the fall, right up till Christmas, and a little bit after, in the spring. Which we'll be doing soon after I put a couple more loads in and then go down and pile it, and I'll have a break. As I said, it makes it a lot easier. You got the wife here chatting away with you. Oh well. You say she usually helps me, but this year, as I say, we got so much on the go, and might as well try to get everything caught up right here together. She can be doing one thing while I'm doing this. There you go.